Hi guys, today I'm going to do a video for an easy way for you to install a 4-speed gearbox in a 650 Triumph engine. To some, the gearbox can be intimidating, but believe me, it's pretty simple and not hard to do. This is a cam plate. This is what shifts the gears. This is the front, or the part that's going to be facing you. This is 4th gear. This is 1st gear. We are going to put this transmission together in 4th gear because that's the gear you need to time it in. And then we're going to put a bunch of grease in here. Or enough anyway. And it goes, and it will, 4th gear main shaft is already in there, and you can put this in here with the gear in there. And get the air out of it. Now, it's going to be looking at you like this. Then we're going to put the detent in here. Okay. There's 2 of these. There's one in the inside, one on the inner case. The hash marks go to the inside, and we do not want to lose this on the pin. If it falls off the pin, you will not get the transmission together. So we're going to put a bunch of grease on here. And we're going to put it in here. You can see where the bearing is back there, and there's a pin. Well, this bushing goes on that pin. And sometimes, hey, look at that. We got it in there right away. I thought, no, we didn't. Hang on. We didn't get it in there. Yep, no, it wasn't in there. Oh, come on. More grease. Try this here. There, right? Nope, okay. Okay, we got it on the pin. So, the shift forks look similar, although one is a little bit bigger than the other. This has got a bigger radius, this has got a smaller radius. If you put the 2 of them together, one is just a hair bigger than the other one. The one with the bigger radius is on the bottom. And here we go with the grease again. There's a roller that goes in here. We do not want it falling out, so we'll put it in there with grease. This is a lace shaft. You can't put the gears on wrong on any of the two shafts. So you can put this in here like this. Then you take the bigger fork, put it in there, and then push it in and let it drop into the cam plate. That's where it's going to be. Then the other fork, we do the same thing and put a lot of grease on here to hold the roller. Then we're going to put this fork in here. And it's in. Okay. And put the pin in. This pin's got a recess on one side that goes inside. Okay. So now we got the two forks in there, and the rollers are in there with grease, and the cam plate's in there. Now, here's the other, you might have to shift it. Here's one gear here. I think you gotta shift it. Here's one gear there. And here's the other gear. And I had to shift it. And then you're going to shift it back. Now, the gears are all in there. And it's in fourth gear. Now it's ready for the main shaft. Now I'm going to show you something first before we put the main shaft in there. This is how we're going to time it. Here is the inner cover, and the main shaft is in there. You take a 6-inch straight edge. This is very important right here. This is what the timing is. If you get it off by one tooth, it will not shift. Or it will, and you won't get it back. Triumph wants you to split the brass and the steel. And they want you to go straight across in the middle of the shift shaft bushing. And then they want you to use the top of the top tooth. So right there is the timing. Now this you can fluctuate, you know, a hair here and there, but that's where the timing is, right there. So now we'll go put the shaft in there and we'll put the inner. Okay. So now we got all the gears in there except one. So we'll put the shaft in here. There you go. Now the first gear here, if the brass thrust washer in the back is off of the pin, when you feel this gear, it's on the inside. If the brass bushing were off, the gear would not go on all the way. The gear would be out here. But, and then this is going to be about right in there. So we know if the gear is on the inside surface, everything is copacetic. So now we're going to glue up the inner cover. Now this here, I've already put the brass bushing in this one with grease. They do make an inner gasket for this cover, but I highly recommend not using it. I have had, on occasion, I've had transmission problems on a few bikes that had a gasket in it. The tolerance in these older transmissions is really tight. And sometimes you get a hold of a thick inner gasket, it'll change where the main shaft is. We don't want to do that. So, and you might say that I'm leaving parts out here and there. I am not going to put the Kickstarter ratchet in here. This gasket cinch that Edelbrock bought takes 24 hours or better to cure. I think we're going to have to put on this inner cover on another video. We are running out of time. So I'm going to close for now, and then part 2 on how to put this transmission together. See you in a few minutes.